When most of us think about keeping ourselves and our family healthy, some of the first things that come to mind are eating healthy and having good nutrition, staying active and in shape, getting good sleep, taking vitamins and supplements, and for us adults, managing stress the best way we can. But there's an emerging and wildly exciting new way of managing our health and even the health of our kids that may seem new and novel to you, but it's wildly simple and effective when you really break it down. What are we talking about here? Something called nervous system regulation. This video is absolutely perfect for you and your family if you feel like you have thrown the book at health and tried every diet change, supplement, and natural health measure out there, but are still feeling constantly stressed, overwhelmed, and out of balance. This video is especially helpful if you or your child struggle with things like falling asleep and staying asleep, feeling rested and having good energy, brain fog, focus-related challenges, mood or emotional imbalances, and even gut and immune health issues that just won't respond to diet changes, detoxes, or supplements. So I'm gonna ask if you would please share with other moms and parents you know need to hear this message. I'd like to share a story with you how Jake went from explosive emotions to self-regulating like a champ. So mom said when Jake turned about 2.5, our sweet smiling little boy began to experience tantrums, crying spells, and explosive energy reactions. When triggered, his anger would escalate quickly. He would yell, stomp, call himself stupid, and at times even hit himself. After several years, it had a direct impact on his self-esteem. With every reaction, angry outburst, and tense moment, we grew more and more desperate. We began to feel the weight and heaviness in our home. We had conversations with our pediatrician, weekly sessions with child therapists, meeting with school teachers, social workers, 504 meetings. We longed for peace for Jake. We hoped and wished happiness for him and calmness for our family. Then, after an extremely explosive event at martial arts competition, Jake's family knew he needed a completely different approach in order to help him. They heard about PX Docs from a friend, so they decided to take a chance and get him started right away. Now, with consistency and time to help rewire and re-regulate Jake's nervous system, they began to see big changes in him. Mom said after about 3 to 4 months, we began to notice Jake appeared calmer. She said, we noticed him begin to use his words to express how he felt. He felt less anxious, less combative, and less intense. He began to smile more and started playfully joking along with his family. Jake still had his moments of frustration, but he had learned to recognize it when it heightened and apply the strategies that he had then learned in therapy to then calm down. Jake's happier, he smiles a lot, jokes around and is playful. He articulates his need and advocates for himself through words and not reactions. And the biggest accomplishment to date for Jake is his comeback in competitive karate. In fact, in July, Jake competed at the AAU National Karate Tournament. He took on 2 gold medals in his age division. He's a national champion in 2 events. So how was Jake able to do this? Well, let me share with you how. First, we have to ask ourselves, what is nervous system regulation? The nervous system helps the entire body stay balanced and stable, keeping every single body system communicating together in harmony and operating in the right order, which is called homeostasis. When the nervous system is regulated, everything works well, from basic functions like sleeping, eating, and digestion to more advanced functions like controlling inflammation, managing the immune response, and mental, emotion, and cognitive health functions as well. What happens when the nervous system becomes dysregulated? Well, when the nervous system becomes overly stressed and imbalanced, it then becomes dysregulated. A nervous system dysregulation can take on many different forms, often starting with alterations in basic health functions like sleep, digestion, and energy first. So if you or your child are beginning to notice challenges of falling asleep, staying asleep, digestion, mood changes, energy, and emotional regulation, those are all signs of a nervous system that is no longer regulated. If you've been Googling, you've likely found autonomic nervous system and vagus nerve when it comes to regulation. With that, what are the roles of the autonomic nervous system and vagus nerve regulation? Well, the nervous system regulation is primarily governed by what we know as the autonomic nervous system, which then controls and coordinates all the major systems in the body, including trillions and trillions of cells, almost entirely on autopilot at all times. The autonomic nervous system has two branches. One is the sympathetic fight or flight stress response, and the other is the parasympathetic rest, relax, and regulate response. The vagus nerve is a very important nerve that is primarily responsible for what we're talking about here when it comes to rest, relax, repair, restore, and regulate. So if you or your child has any damage or injury in that vagus nerve right here, the nervous system will then struggle to regulate and stay balanced, often leading to undesirable symptoms. Okay, so we're talking symptoms. What are the symptoms and consequences of nervous system dysfunction? When the nervous system becomes dysregulated and dysfunctional, we often see what's called the perfect storm and how that perfect storm then sets in. In an infant, it looks like this: difficulty nursing and eating, trouble soothing and sleeping, becoming colicky and fussy, acid reflux, constipation, and eczema. Now, from that infant, we then move on down the line to kids. They struggle with chronic ear infections and respiratory and immune health, as well as struggles with motor planning and making their way through those developmental milestones. Now, eventually, a dysregulated nervous system can then show up as big emotions, frequent tantrums, meltdown, and sensory and ADHD and spectrum-like challenges in kids. Do you want me to share with you the greatest health hack of all time? Well, today people all over are waking up to the importance of nervous system regulation and the role it plays in overall health. While all of these do work to a certain extent, and I love them all, what if you didn't have to jump into an ice bath, or purchase a $5,000 infrared sauna, or meditate or hum for 30 minutes in the middle of the woods? What if I said you could get your nervous system regulated and recharged in just a matter of 3 to 5 minutes? What if the same thing could benefit your kids, from a newborn baby to your incredible teenager who really needs this level of emotional regulation? Neurologically focused chiropractic care focuses on restoring optimal function and balance to the nervous system, especially with the central and autonomic nervous system, with particular attention to the vagus nerve, which plays a crucial role in regulating the nervous system. Our approach doesn't aim to treat or cure nervous system dysregulation, but instead address the underlying causes of subluxation, dysautonomia, and the vagus nerve's dysfunctions head on. Our members experience remarkable enhancements in their quality of life once their care begins and neurologic healing accelerates forward. To learn more about nervous system regulation and how getting this revolutionary type of care from Live Better Chiropractic may completely transform your family's health, visit the link in our bio, comment below, or send us a DM to learn a little bit more.